Going back to WOTUS and the Sackett family, who this Clean Water Act decision impacted, the family was threatened with fines of $10,000 per day, had their property misclassified as a wetland, and were prevented from building their family home. It may not be a $2.5 million home like yours, but that sounds like a lot of red tape to me.
Excuse me,
do you disagree?
I really take that as a personal
do you
assumption.
disagree?
My home.
Do you disagree that this was an overreach?
I disagree that
Ms.
you're
Katzen, my time
casting
has expired.
aspersions on
Mr. Chairman, I
me
yield.
or my.
Thank you.
The lady's time has expired.
Yeah, so that was obviously gross. So it was gross and ill-informed. So pretty classically Lauren Boebert at that point. Also a little dash of cowardice at the end. She does her little like mean girl thing of, I'm going to say some things. I'm gonna throw a vicious, unfair insult, I guess, at you, or at least it's attempted to be an insult. And then when you have an issue with it, I'm gonna claim that the issue you have is one of the factual claims rather than the insult. Like, come on, like, do you have even like a third of a lobe in your head? We all understand what's going on. Man, she thinks that she's smarter than everyone else in that room. She also thinks that she's far more clever, witty, and fast thinking than everyone else in the room. She got a lesson in how you're supposed to do it though, with a response from Representative Jasmine Crockett. Take a look at this.
I do come prepared to committee, and then there's always somebody from this side that does something ridiculous that throws me all the way off. So, oh Jesus. Okay, so this is where we gonna start, Ms. Kaskin. First of all, let me apologize because that was uncalled for. So let me do what she would never do, which is to be an adult in this room or in this chamber. So let me start there. I'm also going to start with some nonsense that she was trying to spew. And unlike Ms. Boebert, I am legally trained. And I've passed a few bar exams. And I also legislated before I got here.
Ooh, throwing the qualifications out there. I like that. Look, I don't know who the Sally Katzen is an NYU law professor. I don't know how much her house is. I don't know why it has to do anything with these government regulations or whatever. And I will simply say that while there are people who can attack someone's credibility or integrity or whatever based on the home that they own, the idea that Lauren Boebert should be doing that. Oh, Lauren Boebert, you don't respect people with high-priced homes. You'd never associate with those sorts of people. You're not doing whatever you can to aspire to owning a $2.5 million home. By the way, she owned a restaurant. How expensive is her house right now? I'm guaranteeing it's not $100,000. She's desperate to hang out with people like Donald Trump, who own multiple estates. The faux populism is so ridiculous coming out of these people, and not even delivered well. But Viviana, what do you think?
Well, as a licensed realtor in the state of California, a $2.2 whatever million home. I don't know where this woman lives, but it's not that crazy. It's not like she said $43 million, you know what I mean? That's a little extreme. 2.2, it's like a middle class home at this point. So it wasn't even that much of a diss, but you're right. It's that full pop. You're like, oh, we're with the people. Get out of town, Lauren Boebert. She just lies all the time. It's just disgusting. And she's rude and she's a total mean girl. And I really hope that we're gonna see the end of these kinds of members in the chamber, but doesn't seem like that's far away. I don't even remember, she did a great job. I'll say this about Lauren Boebert. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Now we're talking about this lady's house, and that's what she intended to do.
Yeah, perhaps. I think that this is the price that we pay for finally having people in these committee halls who care about what happens there, do their research, and care to like make something happen. You get people like Katie Porter in there, or Ayanna Pressley, or AOC or whatever, as we're gonna see in a few minutes, and they make it something that's actually worth watching. They say interesting things. They don't simply accept what a lobbyist says. They point out people's financial conflicts of interest, and it looks good, but it also gets retweets. And so people who are just as desperate to be seen, but don't have the qualifications, aren't interested in doing the research, or not genuinely curious or intelligent people, are going to just mimic what they saw.
Right.
Like an animal doing what their owner did. Like, but you don't understand the context, buddy. Like, calm down.
Yeah, what Katie Porter did wasn't an attack on that man. She was breaking down the cost of living in this country, and it wasn't saying shaming him for accumulating wealth in any sort. But you're right. That's right on the money, John. And it's disgusting, but it panders to their audience. They want to see a burn, and they're too slow and dim-witted to really know what a burn is.
Yeah, well, and then that's the trouble too. They want it desperately, and they also know that they can fall flat on their face, and their base will still like it. When Lauren Boebert did that thing about public urination in DC, it was, if that had happened to me, I would never go out in public again. I would be so embarrassed by what had happened. But for her base, she won that thing. She didn't know what she was talking about. She was 100% wrong. She didn't get her moment, not in a literal objective sense, but they still liked it. They still liked it. I will also say, $2.5 million cannot be a starter home. No, that's too much. That's way too much.
Not a starter home, but what, did she buy it in 1981 and it's worth 2. I mean, I don't know the details.
I don't even know that she has it. How would Lauren Boebert know how much her house costs? Let alone why would that matter? I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe it's for sale. It's under foreclosure. She just put her on blast.
Yeah.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.